Today, I want us to discuss about parents and leaders who kill their children and their followers unknowingly. Last week, I did a post, and the post was directed to parents on how they need to bring their children together to themselves, and it really attracted a lot of attention. Let me start by a story of something that happened in my life one day. In my high school years, one day I had missed school for about a week, and the principal was looking for me in the assembly that very morning. That's very much alive in my mind. His words were, "Where is this demented fellow?" And he explained, demented meaning mad. He made sure he explained to the other students that this fellow is looking for that morning, who happened to be me, is a demented boy. And he explained the meaning of being demented, that we are talking about a mad boy in our school. And he continued to say, "Is this Alex Mohoro or Alex Mugoroki?" In Kikuyu, meaning somebody who is out of their minds. And he continued and he continued. In that assembly, whatever had remained in my life that was already messed was completely destroyed. Shame, fear, self-hatred, self-destruction, drug addiction, etc. became the next phase of my life. What we are saying to the parents and to every leader today, that your child is your life. We say, allow your kid to step on your feet now, and when they are grown up, they will not be stepping on your heart. You need to know that that one that you're calling child, that one that you're calling student, that one that you're calling small today, it will be the future decision maker. What we are doing now then becomes very important. The seed that we are planting now will definitely bring a harvest into our future and into their future. Knowingly or unknowingly, we have parents and we have leaders who are killing their children. They are young, and in so doing, they are creating a very sad future for themselves and for the next generation. There are several things that go along when you're raising a kid, and allow us this morning to discuss a few points, and I pray that you may be you bring your attention, because this has everything to do with your future now and even for the next generations that you're raising. You know, your kid needs to grow and flourish in an environment where there is peace and honor. Where there is violence and disrespect, the kid will never become what they were created to be. Dishonor and abuse will destroy your kid more than you can imagine. When your child thinks they are unwanted, not good enough, not beautiful enough, not handsome enough, every day for breakfast, the parent or the leader seems to be attacking, to be correcting harshly. The kid feels cornered, and all they can do is to run away, to hide, to close their lives, and it really hurts. Any life where one is living in a place where they think that they are not wanted, they will never become anything good in the future. You know, after living that life where you feel that you are unwanted, what happens to someone or to your child is feelings of shame. They are ashamed of themselves first, and they start hating their very lives. They are ashamed of their faces. They are ashamed of your face again. They are ashamed of their body looks. And shame destroys. Shame brings with it low self-esteem. So the kid will always be in hiding. Those people, if they are your followers, will always be running away from you, because at your presence, they feel so ashamed. You know, after the feelings of shame, fear definitely comes in. Anybody who feels ashamed, they have a lot of fears in life. Fear to the fear of you, number one, the fear of the parents, the fear of other adults, the fear of being in the midst of people, fear to try new things, fear to do the exams, fear to take any kind of step. And fear destroys. And because of this, as this goes on, the person who has been hurting has no idea what is happening in the life of this child. So they are still continuing. If it was a language that was hurting them, the language is still continuing. So destruction is still being fueled in the life of this one that you're hoping to raise to become somebody in the future. So in this place of fear, someone now starts to blame themselves. So blame now sets in, and they start blaming themselves for all things. In case there is a quarrel at home that they would think, I'm the reason for that quarrel. Everything now they put their blame on themselves. And as they blame themselves again, they start now to blame others too. They blame their parents for their failures. They blame their brothers for whatever is happening in their lives. So that life of blame now gets into their minds, and all they can do is to always judge and blame. Then rejection definitely will come in. Somebody who has fear, somebody who has shame, somebody who is blaming themselves and blaming others, they will live a life of rejection. And the first rejection is self-rejection. And self-rejection is very dangerous. And many children and many people, they feel that they don't even appreciate or want themselves. So self-rejection, you reject your talents, you reject your ideas, and that life of self-rejection leads to isolation, whereby now you can only hide yourself somewhere because you just feel that I'm unwanted here, I'm unwanted in this life. Why was I born? And rejection really destroys potential. In that life of rejection, that is where now we find negative emotions becomes the order of the day. Anger fights its way in the heart of your kid, in the mind of your child, in the mind of the protege, of that person that you're willing to raise in life. So this person is angry, and anger destroys more than anything else. There is feelings of anger, unforgiveness, bitterness. That is what is happening in their hearts day in, day out, 24/7. Definitely somebody who is bitter, somebody who is angry, they will never see their potential. They will not even think they have any potential. And then when anger continues to grow and self-destruction comes in, self-destruction is whereby now there are habits that are really destroying that person's good mind, that person's good life. That person is now being destroyed. Like, for example, that person may not be sleeping in the night. That is a habit that is self-destructive. That person has feelings of hopelessness. Hopelessness is self-destructive. That person feels as if they just want to come to the end of their lives. Neglect, self-neglect, that is a self-destruction habit. Self-neglect, low self-esteem. And if still continued unchecked up to that point, then other habits that are more destructive comes in. Drug addiction, sexual addictions, bullying, violence, stealing, lying, and all that comes into this kid who was born with a lot of potential, into this kid who is handsome, who is beautiful, who can get an A, who can become all that they were created to become. But now, chances of this one becoming anybody of worth in life now are becoming very, very minimal. Where did it all start? Don't forget, it starts whereby they felt disrespected, they felt unwanted, they felt dishonored, and then shame, fear, all these feelings of anger, self-destruction, and rejection comes in. And finally, if this continues unchecked, definitely death is inevitable. Death comes in. And death, number one, we can try to define death as spiritual death, definitely. So there is that lack of trust on God. No matter how you tell them to worship, no matter how you tell them to rely on God, they feel that even God is not worthy to be trusted. And that results to spiritual death. So you're raising a person who will never rely on God for anything. They don't trust God for anything, just because of the kind of environment that you created for them. You try to tell these youngsters to go to church, they don't even care about church. They don't care whether God will take them to heaven or to hell. That is now spiritual death. Not only spiritual death, this can also lead to emotional death. Definitely, this person doesn't care. All these negative emotions are now the lifestyle. This person can become a sadist. Emotionally, they are just dead. They have no feelings for themselves, no feeling for others, don't care what they do Don't care what happened and what does it not happen. So emotionally, these people can be dead, definitely social death. They will definitely kill relationships. Number one, the first relationship definitely they will kill. You'll find that they don't care about relatives. They don't want to be close to the mother, close to the father, close to the brothers, close to the sisters. So that social death now starts coming in, and they can only be socially alive with their kind, with those rejected as they are rejected, with those who are hurting as they are hurting, with those who are in drugs as they are in drugs, with those who are in addictions as they are in addictions. That's the only maybe social life that they will try to get into, where they feel comfortable, where they can cry together, where they can talk together, where they can even commit crime together. But the other social life where they're supposed to grow and be motivated, that one is already dead. So these feelings can lead to death. And eventually, if still goes unchecked, if no one is seeing all this in that family, if no one is seeing all this in that leadership house, then real physical death can come in. That's why definitely this person has feelings of suicide. They can become suicidal, and they can really do it quickly. They can become, we find some people while cutting their wrist, they just want to cut themselves, they want to shed blood, and all this that can lead to physical death comes in. Now, what am I saying? As a parent, as a leader, you have to be very careful. Listen and think about the people you are raising more than anything else that you're doing in this life. What kind of life, what kind of environment have you created for them? Are you the one who is killing their dreams? Are you the one who is killing their destiny? Are you the one who is killing their good results in the exams? Are you the one who is the cause of all this? And if that is the case, what is the way out? Number one, whether this is happening in your family or it doesn't happen in your family, make sure the language spoken in that environment is a language of honor and respect, is a language that creates peace. Even correction should be done in love. Violence will never bring any good results. Violence can silence someone, but that person, as long as they may be physically silent, they may not be talking, but violence that was given is still working in themselves, and one day it will erupt. It may erupt in their marriages, it may erupt in their career, but please make sure that no violence is used when you're raising anyone to become great in this life. Always know that inside that person, you may be seeing some weaknesses, but always know there is a treasure. There is a treasure. There is a lot of potential. That's why even God saw people like Moses who were to be called murderers. He saw a deliverer inside that Moses. And as a leader, you should see things in the eyes of God. Instead of seeing a murderer in Paul, you can work with him on how to resolve that in the area whereby he is doing something wrong. But also see this person as a person of potential. Don't be so judgmental. Look for ways of helping that person in their negative areas so that you can bring out that potential that is always there. Everyone that you know today has a lot of positive potential. Every child, everyone who is alive today, there's something positive that they carry that will be of great use to this generation if it is well nurtured. Seek counseling. Seek counseling for your children. Seek counseling. Bring people who can talk. Bring people who can motivate your people. Bring people into your circle and let them talk to your children, talk to your followers. This will really help in many ways than one. And also know that as a leader, as a parent, you may be also suffering. Hurting parents will hurt their families. Hurting leaders will hurt their followers. Maybe the reason why you're releasing that violence is because you are hurting too. So this also calls for self-awareness, self-reflection, and be honest with yourself as a leader. Be honest with yourself as a mother, as a father. Why am I shouting? Why do I love to see other people suffer? Maybe it's because you are also raised. You're not guilty. You're just a victim also. And don't allow yourself to go any other day as a victim. Look for ways on where you can heal yourself. Look for a healing process. Look for like a healer somewhere. Get to a counselor. Get leading into God. Jesus is a wonderful counselor. But also look at yourself whether you are hurting others because you are hurting too, because that can also be a reason why things are the way they are in your house or in your leadership or in your environment. What am I saying today? Many people's lives are being killed, are being destroyed by these insensitive leaders who don't know that the result of their hurting today is growing a root of bitterness, a root of self-destruction in whoever they are raising. And by that, you find many parents will cry when they are old. Many leaders will cry because they will have no successor, just because they are not careful in the earlier years of being the kind of leader that God would like you to be. What am I saying today? Parents and leaders, please check yourself whether you are killing this generation or you are giving them life. Instead of blaming our young people, blaming our children, can we go to the root cause of the problem? And there is always a solution in God, in Jesus' name. Let us raise a healthy generation. Let us raise a healthy family. Let us be connected to our children. Let us be connected to our followers in a way that is going to build them, not to destroy them, in Jesus' name. God bless you. God lift you. God bless your family. Thank you.